occupation in the Quran. Do we think that's a joke? Working for Allah? Who is Allah? Allah is Akbar, the greatest. He's the best boss to have. You working for a little 2x2 guy in a gas station, in a convenience store, in a little shop, probably own one little house. He's your boss. My boss is Allah. He owns everybody. He is the King of Kings on the day of Qiyamah. Allah will say, come to the King of Kings, the boss of bosses. All these people who think that they let kings and bosses and employers and they work for them and they stooge for them and they everything for them, Allah will say, bring them and come to the King of Kings on the day of judgment. And we want to think that the Quran, the words of Allah, spreading the message of Allah, being His employee is no job at all. Just recently a person told me that. He said, you know, we wanted them to get somebody to do something. So that somebody has a work. Why don't ask Shaikh Shafayat? What? Astaghfirullah. I look like I don't have no. I'm telling a brother next 4 months I'll be available to go on a DAWAH trip. All because of all these DAWAH. I'm just showing you the stupidity of the mentality of some of our people. We fail to understand the barakat of this Quran. Somebody told me recently, someone told them, well, boy, well, I don't want to use the exact words, you might get a message, but you see, sometimes these are so living example. Told somebody, well, the new immigration law has passed, so you could go get better jobs, so you don't have to keep yourself only in masjid and Quran and Islam. What kind of garbage we hear? I know a lot of people with citizenship and they don't have no money and don't even have a house. And all they're living for is a house and money and car. Go get a better job. The Islam that you're involved in, it doesn't pay too much. That's kind of foolish, un-Islamic statements people will make. You know, Peace TV. I used this reference once, Bismillah, Dr. Zakir Naik. I heard him once, I think I was in India or Bangladesh or somewhere, and I tuned on the television, and he was on television there. Yeah, maybe I was in Delhi or somewhere looking at the program. And he said, somebody asked him the question, Dr. Zakir Naik, why have you given up your medical field? Because he's a medical doctor. Why have you given up the medical field to go into preaching the Quran? And he quoted this verse, وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ قَوْلًا مِمَّنْ دَعَا إِلَى اللَّهِ. Surah Fussilat, chapter 41, verse 33. And whose words, advice, message, profession, whatever is better than he who calls to the way of Allah. He said that this profession of inviting people to the Quran is better than inviting people to medicine. Huh? There's no value to this. You could pay, sorry, with all due respect, I know we got a lot of medical doctors here. I respect you. You do a great job. You do great contribution and donation, so continue it. Don't stop it, inshallah. But you could value a surgery and you could value a job. Could you value the Quran? Could we value the Quran when someone dies and that Quran that will be shafa'at and intercession for them in the grave? Could you value that Quran? There is no profession and no degree and no money and no status that will stand for us on the day of judgment like the Quran and plead on our behalf. The value of that. That's why even today when someone gives someone a gift for doing something for them, teaching them Quran, they say it's a hadiyah. Because you cannot tell someone, I'm paying you for teaching me to read the Quran. But you could say, I'm giving you a gift because there's no value. You cannot put a value to this thing. It is beyond value. It's the words of Allah. It's the words of Allah. That's like paying a price for the words of Allah. No, because we probably don't understand this depth of Islam and this Quran. So Dr. Zakir Naik said, he gave up to do a better profession because Allah say, who is better than he than who invites people to the words of Allah? So instead of him inviting people to health, he's going to invite them to spiritual health, which is automatically physical health. Because the Quran tells you about how to eat, how not to eat, and what you should do and what you should not do.